Hello and welcome back to Asian Cinema Season 2, and this will probably be the final Studio Ghibli with Connie video, even though this isn't technically a Studio Ghibli film, but she... what?
Is it not?
No, so this was released in 1984, and it is, of course, as you've no doubt seen from the title and thumbnail, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. This was released in 1984, directed by Hayao Miyazaki, and I'm not sure if this film spurred on the creation of Studio Ghibli, but it was in 1986, Castle in the Sky, that was the first official Studio Ghibli film. But since they've become such a big presence and animation studio, Nausicaa was kind of integrated into the Studio Ghibli canon in a way. So, I mean, we got the Blu-ray playing now, and I'm pretty sure the movie opens with the Studio Ghibli logo. It's currently the World Wildlife Fund logo on the screen in the minute. Some Japanese I can't understand. Oh no, there isn't. Okay, I thought the Ghibli logo was placed on the front. Apparently I'm wrong. It's in the Studio Ghibli collection anyway, and it's kind of considered, I think, the unofficial first Studio Ghibli film. Anyway, so yes, it's been fun watching these films, rewatching and seeing them for the first time in some cases with Connie, and there's many more we could have got to, I think, but you know, there's always time for that in the future. Anyway, so this will be the last one, and I'm really looking forward to this. It's one of my favorite films, maybe ever. Like, I might probably put this in like my top 100 favorite films ever.
Top 100?
Yeah. Well, you know, what's wrong with that?
Such a large number. And I bet if you sat down for a couple of days, you'd probably have a top 100 written down.
Probably.
All movies. Yeah.
It would be impossible to sort it completely. I think top 20 I can kind of order.
You kind of know
the
what
rest would just be...
and what doesn't make it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I could probably do a top 500. I don't know. There's a lot of films. I've seen thousands, so I mean it's... Anyway, so...
You should make your own 1001 movies you should see before you die.
Right, anyway. So, before we get in the video...
Oh.
Ugh, do we have to? Do we have to? Yes, you do. I'm forcing you against your will. This is...
I don't know what you want me to say.
Say something.
Something.
Okay. So, no, you've seen this before.
Yeah, but I don't remember
Many
much.
years ago. So
Yeah.
you don't remember much even?
I don't remember much. I remember things and stuff.
Do you remember liking it?
I remember liking maybe the first 70%, and I think I remember something about the ending that put me off. So we'll see.
Okay.
If that happens today as well.
So we will be watching the English dub because for me that's just okay. I tried to make a joke. She didn't bite at all on that one. Okay, so that was a bit of a failure. I'll leave that one in for free. And yeah, so this I've seen it a couple of times. It's been years since I saw it again. I like to leave it with some of my favorite films a few years. And I'll also be posting at the same time as this video an unreleased video that I recorded 3 or 4 years ago where I reviewed the entire 1,000+ page manga of Nausicaa. I made that video years and years ago for a different project that I ended up abandoning, so you'll be seeing that video as well. I also talk about the art book, so this will be like a Nausicaa day whenever I post this. So we're going to watch this, and yeah, I'm looking forward to revisiting it. Every time I see it, I like it even more, and I hope maybe Connie enjoys it a little more than last time too. But let's just get on with it and start the film.
So too.
Yeah. Okay, so we're now 2 minutes into the film. Connie's gone to get her dinner, her pizza, I think. And it really threw me, the first line of the movie, because I don't watch it in English. I have seen it in English. The English dub is really good. Patrick Stewart, Mark Hamill, Uma Thurman, really good cast for the English dub that Disney did. I think I've seen that with my brother. Yeah, in fact, you'll be seeing a video as well of me and my brother from years ago, like actually about 5 years ago, when I had long hair and everything, and weighed considerably less than I do now. And we talk about Nausicaa. I forgot about that, so I might even post that today as well. And like you'll see kind of a bunch of those videos. But so I watched it with the English dub with him, but usually I'll watch it in Japanese. But I sometimes put this movie on to go to sleep to, and when I do, for the sake of quasi following the story, I have the English dub to listen to. And so I'm so familiar with like the first 10 minutes of the movie in English, particularly the first opening line, which is Lord Yupa, played by Patrick Stewart, going, "Yet another village is dead." You know, and so I was really thrown when I didn't hear Patrick Stewart. It's like I've been so accustomed to hearing that at the beginning of the movie. But I'm excited to watch it fresh in Japanese in the original language again and stuff. So, yeah. And for snacks, I have some of these chocolate cookies, which are really good. These almost remind me of the cookies I used to get back home in Norway. So that's nice. Because I really liked the particular brand of cookies in Norway, and I couldn't find anything here that are close, but those ones are pretty damn close, like about 80% close. So anyway, on with the movie for real this time. Alrighty, it's about 2 hours later, and we're done. We're finished with NAUSICAÄ of the Valley of the Wind. Very tired right now. I actually had to get up early today to go to work. I usually work later shifts. So yeah, it's like 10 o'clock and I'm really tired, which is unusual for me. Not so unusual for Connie. What do you think?
Yeah, get me out of the way.
Get you out of the way. Alright, so NAUSICAÄ of the Valley of the Wind, very briefly, is a post-apocalyptic story about a princess from a valley that has a lot of wind. I guess it's near the ocean, and it's one of the last few settlements in the world that is untouched by the Sea of Decay, also known as the Toxic Jungle. I think there's a few different terms for it, but it's set 1,000 years into the future, the collapse of kind of society and mankind as we know it now, and giant insects have taken over the world, and they live in this kind of toxic Sea of Decay where toxic spores have grown. It's, you know, it will kill humans within minutes, and you have these giant insects, and so the human's instinct is to kill the insects, but it's just overpowering them. And so NAUSICAÄ is actually empathetic. Empathetic, is that even a word? She empathizes with the insects, and we see in a flashback she's done this since she was a child. She wants to understand them, and to instead of to fight them with force, she wants to try to kind of combat them with empathy, kindness, and, you know, understanding, which is a really cool concept, I think. And there's a lot going on in the film, lots and lots going on. It would be far too long to kind of go into all the ins and outs of all the plotting and everything, but it's a really fun and exciting adventure with lots of different, like, I like how it goes, the group splinters off into different sections. There's a lot of different groups as well that turn up, and so the first time I watched this film I was very confused as to, like, who are those people, where are they from, what are their intentions. I've seen it a few times now, I've read the whole manga, so I have a bit more of a grasp on it and stuff like that. But anyway, what did you think first? We'll kind of see how you felt revisiting this one.
I think it was better than what I remember, because I don't remember that much. I think I only remember probably 40% of it. My main memory was from the village, and then that tower thing with that little garden thing in the bottom, and the boy that she meets as well, and how things are underground and so on.
Yeah.
Those are like the main things that I remember. And then the ending was something I vaguely remembered, but I don't remember why I didn't like it. Because the ending was fine. It was good.
Yeah.
You know? So I have no idea why I was left with. Maybe I just thought I remembered that I didn't like the ending. Visually very nice. It's quite long, but I think it's got a lot of important things in it, so it should be the length it is as well, I guess.
It's like an epic, you know.
Yeah,
it's a big story.
It is, yeah. So it's necessary to have it as long as it is. I can't think of anything that they should kind of like cut out. So that's a good thing, but it's just that it was getting late, and that's probably the only reason why I was thinking, this is too long now.
Yeah.
Because I was struggling in the end. Story-wise, really nice. I like the moral of the story as well. Basically, the world has gone to shit because of us.
Yeah.
Which is basically what we're going through right now. And I guess the message is that even the earth and the water that we have up here is too toxic, and so we are destroying ourselves. It wasn't actually the... Yeah.
Yeah, I visually I love it. It's not as refined as some of his later films. Like by the time you get to Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, Porco Rosso, Princess Mononoke, like those films are just pretty much flawless visually. Here, you can feel that it's a film that's made in the 80s. There's certain,
Blurriness is...
yeah, just little seams around the edges and things like that. Some of the music is quite dated in terms of it goes into kind of like the electronic stuff, which is kind of a shame because the rest of the score is so like timeless and like operatic and proper movie soundtrack score. But I do like the electronic stuff, so it doesn't really matter to me too much. But I do think it dates the film in a way that the rest of the score doesn't, and I love the score. Like the music is so sweeping and grand and majestic and fitting to the story and the characters. I love Nausicaa as a character. You could really easily take her and make her too perfect. Mary Sue, where she's just so good at everything and she's such a good person, but they kind of tap into how like she has like a real rage that she's kind of scared of herself. They don't go into too much in the second half of the film, but in the beginning she finds her father. He gets killed early on in the movie, and she just flies into a rage and starts attacking people, and it's
kind of like...
What?
Kind of like the bugs.
Right, yeah. Oh, true. Yeah, that's a good, good comparison. And so,
Blinded with rage.
Blinded with rage, right. And so I like that. I like the
I would be the same. I'd freaking kill everyone if they killed my dad.
Yeah, so there's the kind of moral ambiguity to the film as well. People are killing other people, and they're being led in the wrong ways at certain times. There are groups that believe this, groups that believe that, and there's no right or wrong. Well, there is wrong, and but it's kind of more. There's a lot of grey areas to the morals of all the characters in the film. I like all the bearded villagers from the Valley of the Wind. Just really kind of lovable characters, I think. And Lord Yupa is a great character. I love his moment near the end of the film where he gets to kind of have that badass moment when he turns up with his two swords. So that's really cool. Just the way, like, I don't know, the way he tells the story visually is just so great. And even down to tiny little details, but just, the way things move and the way the wind is incorporated into the story. And there's a moment near the end where Nausicaa she doesn't so much jump off her glider, because she has a glider that she flies throughout the film. Towards the end, in this kind of climactic moment, she doesn't jump off it, she kind of just lets go of it. And so she stood in kind of midair, floating in like a standstill position. And it kind of makes sense. But like the way that she's just stood in this locked off position and her clothes are like rippling around her, just really cool visual moments like that. And I guess it goes with the score, but there's certain bits of the music that are just really atmospheric to the locations and surroundings. Like near the beginning when she sits on top of the omu shell and the spores are kind of like floating down. There's like a weird kind of like little, I don't know, this kind of magical little theme that comes in. It seems to go along with the things that are happening on the screen. I'm not really conveying myself very well, but it's not a big sweeping piece of music. It's just this kind of like an atmospheric music at times, and I really like that. And I like the twists and turns and where the story goes and the logic of everything. It's just a really well thought out and told epic kind of fantasy story. And having read the manga now, it's kind of almost a little frustrating because like a character like Kushana or Kushuna, she's good in the film, but in the manga she's an amazing character with such a great like arc. And you don't really get that in this film, but there is. I like her character in this film because there's certain moments when she's on a ship and she's kind of holding Nausicaa hostage, and the ship gets attacked. So Nausicaa goes to escape and she gets in her ship, and Kushana turns up almost as if to kind of you know, so, oh, you're going to leave without me. And Nausicaa's like, no, come on, let's go. And there's just like a look on her face like, oh, she's going to help me anyway. I don't know, just like little subtle details like that. And so I liked her character a lot. Again, it's difficult when you've like read the book, so to speak. But I did see the film first, so it's a little bit different. But I don't think of anything else. There's probably loads of good I could go into, but I'll leave it there, I guess. It was great revisiting it, and I enjoyed it, and glad you enjoyed it a little bit more than the last time. And I don't know. I mean, this is the last one for now for Asian Cinema Season 2, but you know, maybe in the future if we decide to watch a Ghibli film, we'll just do another one of these. Why not? Just kind of add it onto the, you know, just it doesn't need to be very, you know, strict or anything. It's a pretty free flowing thing, and yeah. So, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, definitely one of my favorites, and I love. I always feel this way. I love the ending. I mean, the ending's great. Like the ending's really great and cinematic and powerful, but I love the credits. Because it's one of those Miyazaki films where he does a little epilogue in the credits. So like you see the credits on screen, and there's kind of wordless stuff happening on the screen. So you see the characters, where they go, quote unquote, after the film, you know. And then the final shot of this film is a really simple shot, but it always, I don't know, and the music kind of swells up at the end, and you get that one last image, which is kind of just like a tribute to the whole kind of story, really. And to Nausicaa's character. I love that last shot. It's just, every time I watch this film, I'm just looking forward to that last shot and the music sweeping and then crashing and then ending and then the movie's over. It's such a great final moment. And I'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Anything else you'd like to add before? No? Okay. Simple answer, and it's a simple ending. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans and calling into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.